It's been a while since we've had an entry in this series, but the idea of it is we pick a year. We talk about the movies, the albums, the games that moved us, pick our favorites, and just really take a look back at a specific year.
Yes.
And today is the year you graduated high school.
High school, 2013.
Get ready to feel old, everybody.
Yeah, so 10 years ago-ish, kind of. Feels like forever ago. I was such a young kid back then. 2013, what a cool year. That was the year PS4, Xbox One was launched. Vine was like super popular, that like weird like 15-second video app. Now, TikTok's the new thing. Yeah. Average gallon of gas is like $3.80, which is pretty cheap. This is also the year that Lance Armstrong admitted he was doping.
Ooh, so, hey. Lots of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff happened in 2013. But let's start off with movies. I love movies. So there was a lot of great movies that came out in 2013, like a ton. I was looking at the list and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, there was some shitty ones too.
Oh, but, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know like what your favorite is. Mine, well, some of my favorites, but I do have a specific one that I remember seeing at this really awesome theater we have, Fluor Cinema.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say.
But I do really like the comedy Bad Words with Jason Bateman. That's a really
I've never even heard of it.
It's really good. Conjuring came out.
Dude, that's one of my favorite horror movies.
American Hustle came out.
Oh, dude. Sound City, which is a documentary that Dave Grohl did. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Gravity, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Now You See Me, and This Is the End were two like movies that I almost picked. Now You See Me is great because it's magic, and This Is the End is funny because they play themselves. But the movie that I picked is kind of an indie film, Kings of Summer.
Okay.
This movie is fantastic. It's like a coming of age, like high school film. Like these three friends just go in the woods and like build a thing, and they think they can survive on their own, but then they realize they can't.
Life's a little harder than they thought.
Yeah, it's really freaking good. I don't remember how I even found the movie, but the first time I saw it, I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, it's like done really well.
Really, I have not seen that one.
It's a movie that not many people talk about.
What could you be showing me in the woods right now?
This is the side of our new house, man.
What, like a tree house?
No, like a real house. No parents, no one telling us what to do. We make the rules. Hold on, what is this kid doing here? I'm afraid to tell him to leave. I don't know what he's capable of.
The movie I'm going to pick has Joaquin Phoenix in it, and it's called Her.
Dude, this movie was almost on my list.
Yeah.
Her, oh man. I watched that recently. That's It's incredible, dude.
I remember not knowing what to pick when I went to this Fluor Cinema because they was mostly indie films, so played some other mainline stuff, and this was on the list, and this is what I chose to see, and I was like, holy cow.
Scarlett Johansson is the voice of the phone, and
the AI.
Yeah, dude, that movie is very unique and very like. When that came out, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like, is this what it's going to be like in the future?
And it is, dude. It is like that in the future.
Can you feel me with you right now?
I've never loved anyone the way I love you.
Me too. Now we know how.
Miles away.
Now let's move on to albums. A lot of really awesome music came out. Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP 2 came out. That was a really big album. 21 Pilots Vessel for me. Some Panic at the Disco, Pup, Fiddler, a lot of like skater punk. I was in high school, so I was listening to that kind of stuff. Yeah. Arctic Monkeys AM came out, and then Queens of the Stone Age Like Clockwork, which that album is phenomenal.
So that album's on my list. There was not a lot of new music to me in that era. I was just kind of like, whatever.
I think this was the era for me because I was like, 18, I was like, I'm into like this pop punk, skater punk music, and it was awesome.
And there was some good stuff, but in the moment, like what was playing on the radio, I just thought like a lot of the rock stuff was like fart rock. It just sucked, I was like a lot of Breaking Benjamin, I just
still don't like that.
Yeah. So anyway, but Queens of the Stone Age Like Clockwork, but I actually picked an EP.
Ooh, an EP.
And it's my favorite song from a Local H album, but it was made into its own EP. Another February EP by Local H.
Damn.
And I love that song, but the reason I really, really like this is there's two covers on it. And one of them is Terrible Love. It's Terrible Love and I'm walking with spiders. That song. And then they do the Rush 2112 Overture,
which is incredible.
It's paired with Temples of Syrinx. And so it's really awesome. You get a lot of Rush there.
Very heavily inspired, and yeah, that's awesome. Dude.
It's a great cover.
That is a great EP. My album, I think it's a double LP. So yours was an EP, mine was a double LP.
Okay.
Because of the Internet by Childish Gambino. This is a fantastic hip hop record. I think it's Childish Gambino's best work. It's so good. I think the song "Sweatpants" is up there, one of my favorite songs of all time. 2005, but. That album's so good, dude.
You sounds like you're speaking a different
dude,
language
it's
to me.
Ian. I've listened to it. It's like one of those albums that I just listen to front to back. Like it's a great album because the Internet.
You might have to lend it to your old friend.
Dude, I need to get it on.
What's
vinyl.
his name? Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Is that really what it is?
That's his rapper name.
Okay.
Donald Glover, because he was an actor.
David Glover.
Donald Glover.
Okay.
But Childish Gambino, dude, he was in Community. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
fantastic freaking record.
All right. I digress. I'll have to take your word for it until I borrow it. Video games. That's what this channel's about.
Yes, video games.
You know, this era of gaming was a unique one. I'm just kind of a few years removed from college. Professional careers really taken off. And I was gaming, but not a ton. But I know a game that really stood out. You said the PS4 had came out. But in 2013, on the PS3, Last of Us came out.
Oh, dude, this game was on my list. This game was revolutionary when it came out.
Yeah.
This game was, I mean, it still is phenomenal. Like, they're remastering it for the PS5. That's
Yeah.
insane. 10 years later.
And I didn't have a PS4 at this time. I don't think I got one until 2015,
Yeah, I
2016.
didn't get mine until probably 2016 either.
Yeah, so I
way
was
late to the party.
PS3 all the way, and I was playing games like a couple big games a year, and then a little Madden after work, things like that. But I wasn't going super hard on stuff, and this was one that came out, and then I really liked Rayman Legends.
That game is
really good.
That game is a beautiful.
Yeah,
game.
I think it's the best Rayman game.
I would agree. Super Mario 3D World came out in 2013.
That's a banger.
Which is a banger. Battlefield 4, which I played a ton of when it first came out. Deadpool, which is a fantastic, art game. But the game that I'm going to go with, and it's probably one of the biggest games of the year. Hard to compete with Last of Us, though, but it still is thriving just like Last of Us. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Game changer.
I think that I'm going to have to go with that game just because I remember when I got it, I played it on 360, and I was just like, dude, this is incredible. The 3 different characters you can play as you switch between. It was so freaking good. And I know it's still thriving like the online and all that stuff today, which is insane. I just don't know how they're going to top it because it was such a big map, and I know they're working on 6, and it's going to be even bigger, but...
It is.
5 was insane.
I can't think of a video game in my lifetime, if ever, that has had the staying power of Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean,
I don't know how it's
bridged
still,
like 3 generations of
and it's
consoles.
still freaking thriving, and people are still playing it all the time. I never really got into the online aspect of it, but I know my buddy plays it all the time, and it just seems chaotic.
Yeah,
you're trying to do stuff, and people are just
I've played it a couple times with my buddy Nick, and I don't know if I get it. I think I might be too old to figure that out, but I can figure some things out, but not that. It just seems like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it just seems like pure chaos. It's like a Wild Wild West,
Yeah.
except you're Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
2013, man, what a cool year.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. It was a lot of overtime, and I was really scratching and clawing my way through the corporate ladder. And so I didn't game as much and it'd be able to take in as much. But when we step back and look at all the stuff that came out, I was like, holy cow, it actually was some pretty cool
It was a pretty cool year. I don't remember gaming that much back in the day. I gamed here and there. I was mostly PS3 and 360 during this era, or during this year in particular. And then I just remember I was in high school, so
yeah,
I was just messing around.
Having a good old time.
Hanging out with chicks.
Yeah.
I was working at the bakery at the time and then part-time, and nothing mattered.
Yeah.
Nothing mattered.
Yeah. Then life got real for you real quick.
Yeah, it did, real quick.
Yeah.
I still had fun, though.
Yeah.
Still had fun.
Good stuff, man. Well, what do you think of this beer?
Yeah, we got to talk about this beer.
Sex on the Beach by Barntown Brewing. It is a sour, and it's trying to mimic the cocktail, basically.
Yeah, it's a cocktail inspired gluten-free sour with orange, cranberry, and peach. I don't think, honestly, I've ever even had the cocktail, to be honest.
I haven't. I know for sure. I don't order cocktails like that, dude.
Can I get a 6 on the beach?
With naughty words in them? No, dude.
Yeah.
I don't.
Can I get a 6 on the beach?
Yeah, I don't.
I ain't ordering that.
No.
I'd rather do it on the beach.
More of a whiskey on the rocks or an old-fashioned guy.
Ooh,
but as a sour...
This is pretty good, and I have no comparison to the cocktail.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it would be a pretty good cocktail, obviously, because it's got really good fruit elements in it. Very tropical. This is really good.
It is divine.
It has like obviously it's a sour, but it does have a pucker to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like from the pineapple or the peach or something, but I'm really enjoying this. I had this in the tap room, and then I'm having it now.
Yeah, I think Barntown, we just did a review on another one of their sours an episode or so ago, but they're one of the best sour breweries that I know of. They're really good. Sours
I just don't know how they do it.
They're becoming a bigger thing, and I think they're a good beer for folks that maybe don't think they like craft beer. I'm a firm believer, that there's a craft beer out there for everybody. You just gotta find it.
And Barntown would be the place to start.
For sure.
Good luck. It's in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah. Well, in the comment section below, let us know, what are some of your favorite things? Movies, albums, games, TV shows from 2013. It's weird that it was almost 10 years ago. It sounds so modern when it comes out of my mouth. 2013. I'm like, I was like yesterday. No, it was like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it will be 10 years soon.
Yeah.
It's freaking weird, dude. I feel like I'm getting old.
Yeah, it's happening.
Graduated high school.
Happens to all of us. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we appreciate you traveling back to 2013 with us crazy kids over here at Gaming Off the Grid. And we'll see you next time. If you care to support the channel any further, in the description below, there's a link to our Patreon. But we'll see you next time. Later. It has been a while since we have done a dive into this series. We're going to see if we still remember how to do it. The idea is the series